Hey everybody, I'm Amber.
And I'm Maddie.
And we're Witches Talking Tarot. And this season we've got for you ghosts, cryptids, conspiracies. Oh my.
Check out what role we cast Emma Robertson on our myth episodes this season.
Yes. And in addition to our myths, we will be bringing you the holidays because we may or may not have missed one this last season. I guess you'll have to listen to the last episodes to check it out and then catch all our new episodes coming up every Tuesday and Thursday on your favorite podcast platforms and see us on YouTube.
Come and sit with us for a spell.
Hi.
Hey, welcome to Bacon Is My Podcast.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah? What's going on?
We spoke to a pretty awesome guy.
Yeah.
Who like does guitar stuff for a living, which is pretty awesome.
We got to talk to a guitar guy that makes guitars.
And plays them.
That has sold more guitars than anyone on Earth.
Right. To super important people.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool to me.
And he's just a cool dude. You know,
yeah.
Like I've known Steve for a number of years now. Don't know him super well, but we've kind of like been in each other's orbit a number of times through different people that I've worked with and he's worked with, and been on festivals with him and stuff like that. And
yeah,
man, he's just such a cool dude. Like probably my favorite "What's Your Bacon" answer.
Yeah,
ever.
So we have Steve Pisani,
yeah, who
is the head honcho, the idea man over at Michael Kelly Guitars, also VP of Sam Ash.
Yeah.
We hung out with him today. Before we get into that episode, though, I do want to...
Yeah, go to baconismypodcast.com and check out all of our great sponsors. You can find all the most up-to-date and current deals, including our deal at Manscaped for 20% off your entire order plus free shipping.
Yes.
Using the promo code...
Bacon Pod!
Yeah, take care of your testicles, chesticles, and cheeks.
Yes.
And nostrils.
And
ears,
nostrils. And we spoke... and they have the new Weed Whacker 2.0, which is pretty great. I was pretty surprised by the fact that they got the Weed Whacker 1.0 somehow better.
Yeah.
So head on over to baconismypodcast.com to get all of those awesome deals.
Links and deals to everything.
I think it was really cool that Steve was, he talked about his love for history. And we get into that, the people that throughout history have inspired him. It was like a really cool turn that we took in this podcast that I really enjoyed.
Listen for and watch for his roundtable.
Dude, I never thought of it that way. I never thought about that,
which is so
perspective, cool. But I'm gonna probably end up using that at some point in my life.
So everybody watch for that. Like listen in for it. He's got some really cool life advice. You know? Like we're talking about like how much we love the guitar that we're using from Michael Kelly. And we brought him on to talk about that, to talk about what goes into that process, and we ended up getting some really cool life advice.
Absolutely.
Which was awesome.
Absolutely.
So positive, cool dude.
We should get into that. Let's do it.
Yeah,
because it's a pretty long episode.
It is. Let's get in there.
Right now.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
I love that.
That's the promo episode, man. Then we'll roll right over into the.
How was that? Was that good? Is that what you guys looking for?
That was awesome.
That was great.
That was awesome.
That was great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, the tangents and like additional stories.
That's what this is.
This is just a couple dudes just hanging out, talking, shooting the breeze.
Yeah,
cool.
having a fun conversation. It's
awesome.
We're bringing positive in to the world.
That's what.
You know what I mean?
How deep is your love?
How deep is your love?
Killer, man. I met Maurice, I think it was one of them in the city, and he was speaking the way he sings. Hello, like that.
God. That's awesome.
He does? Does he really? That's amazing.
I'm so glad that he does.
Yeah. It makes me feel better.
He speaks with vibrato, like
Right, yeah.
That's amazing.
A ukulele. I go, yeah.
How you doing, Steve?
He want a ukulele. I'm telling you. It's terrible. You know?
That's amazing.
I met Jimmy will tell you, Mike, I met every single great musician. Yeah. Oh, God.
We have so much to talk about.
Yes.
Here on this episode of Bacon is My Podcast, we have a guitar player, a songwriter, a professional touring musician with the band Radio Flashback, but also the idea man / head honcho of Michael Kelly Guitars. Michael Kelly Guitars that we talk about all the time on our Twitch stream.
Can you grab those two guitars real quick?
Always sitting right here.
Just for those of you that are watching on Stranger Hood TV, you saw these before. You've seen them on our Twitch stream. We have these beautiful Michael Kelly guitars and bass.
And I will say this, the bass I had before we started working with you guys because I fell in love with it. I absolutely fell in love with it. But ladies and gentlemen, Steve Pisani here with us. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Here I am.
Thank you for making awesome guitars because, so Jimmy, we started talking about doing the Twitch stream and stuff, and we were trying to figure out, okay, well, how do we get other people involved and stuff? And he told me about your involvement, and I was already sold. I have the Michael Kelly bass, and I've been recording with it for about the past year or so. I'm not like a bass player, but all halfway decent guitar players are just really good bass players. So that's a hot take. That's a hot take. That's a hot take. We like to bust chops here. But he told me about the hybrid that you were sending to us, and I was like, oh, cool. And I started reading up on it, and it finally got here. You shipped it to my house.
Yep.
I played around with it for about an hour, and he was like, how is it? I was like, so if you ever want a guitar that literally does all of the sounds, like every single one that you want, that's the one.
Yeah.
Acoustic, electric, sure.
Well,
but like even beyond that,
it handles drop tuning really, really well. The pickups are incredible. They're really articulate and clear. Split coils. I mean, it's like people always kind of say, and you always have in your mind, like when you're a guitar player, like, okay, I have to have a Les Paul, I have to have a Strat, I have to have a hollow body, and
Rickenbacker.
a Rickenbacker, right? You have all these guitars in your mind that you want so that you can achieve all these sounds. And do we still want them all? Yes. Should you get them all? Yes. Talk to Steve.
Thank the good Lord. Yeah.
But one guitar that can really handle everything is this guitar. It's really, really cool, and it's made really well, and it plays really well, and it's a good weight.
Yeah, that's very big. I've never had a customer come to me and go, do you think you can have a heavier one to try?
What I actually want to kick this off with is because like you are the idea man over there at Michael Kelly, and so like as the idea man, have you ever thought about how a young Steve, who's like just picking up a guitar, aspiring guitar player, would feel about here you are these many years later, literally being the design guy, the guy who does this stuff? Could you imagine like being that guy all those years later?
Well, first of all, I just want to make something clear. I use a lot of resources. I have the final say, but our new 12 string, who did I bring in? Randy Jackson from Zebra.
Right.
To help me design it. Who better than Randy?
Because who better? Right. Yeah.
We went through 4 or 5 prototypes, different woods, different bridges, pickup placement. And now we have an amazing 12 string. Right now, Randy and I are working on a hybrid version of our solid body Patriot style. So that's the new one coming out. The bass guitar that you play, some of the basses that you see, members of our bass community, like Jack Knight plays with Funk Philharmonic, Les Jansen with Voyage, Paul Blumstrom, Radio Flashback. Like I get the team, I get the guys in. We play them. We talk about ideas because I don't profess to know everything, but working with all these great musicians and getting their ideas, and we go through a bunch of prototypes, and the results have been spectacular. So I think a good brand manager that I am, vice president of the company, is using my resources. I can't tell you how many great ideas. Richard Ash comes by my office. Hey, Stevie, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And then I'll go run to his office. Look, we just got this prototype. What do you think? Sammy Ash, what do you think? Stevie, listen. He'll send me a picture, Sunday evening. I just saw something like this. What do you think? So we have a team. We have a great team working on the guitars of musicians, like the guys who play, guys who sell, because one thing about Michael Kelly, we have a lot of experience of, I call it the frontline guys, people who worked at the counter, who handed guitars to customers. I handed guitars to customers my whole adult life. So I knew what they like and what maybe they didn't like or wasn't not as popular. So with this vast support network of all these names, I'm telling you, prominent people, wow, look, this is some strength here. This is a lot of great data to build and design. Like the hybrid that you have there, the black one, Michael Kelly had a similar guitar in a burst finish, beautiful burl top. And look, there's a segment of population, the Craving Strangers of the world who like that satin, and it looks cool, who like the stop tailpiece instead of the ashtray, So we took some of that data and we came out with that guitar. And I'll tell you a quick story. We had a little test run of 45 of them to Australia. And my friend has his distribution company out there and sold them like this. So I knew we had a winner out there.
Oh man, as soon as I saw it, I remember talking to you about some of that stuff back at NAMM a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
We were both there. And because we were talking about guitars, for those of you that had seen any of my Blue Notebook acoustic tour shows and that stuff, I was using a Michael Kelly that Steve had given me to use for that as well, which is amazing. And you've also seen it on the channel on all my Will It Sound Good acoustic videos that I did as well. It's the guitar that I use in that. So we were talking about that, and then we were talking about and I was even telling you, I was like, I love the telly bodies and I love the hybrids and everything, and I even was like, I really wish there was like a matte flap.
Yeah, I remember that. Are you angling for 10% sales off?
I will tell you what I did is when I saw the guitar, I was like, oh my God, it's like they made the guitar for me.
Yeah.
I saw it and I was like, this is like everything that I like in a guitar.
Well, listen, my God. The customers tell us what works. I read just about every customer service email, people write in to info, everyone, every night, I knock them out, and some of them are sent over to our guitar techs, some to our sales department, whatever. But I read every one, and then I'll farm them out,
Right.
And if you just read between the lines and see what people like about the lightweight, about neck thickness, about styles of woods, you really all of a sudden you see little trends going on. Wow. And then also you see things that maybe are not as important to people nowadays, And so the customers will tell you if you take a moment and listen to them,
Well, it's funny because you look at these other and we mentioned like the big guys and stuff, and you look at some of the guitars that are coming out, and it does honestly feel sometimes like I'll see a new guitar come out from some big company, and it'll have all these new features or all these things on it, and I'm like, a lot of times I'm like, who's this for?
Right.
Like I'll pick it up to play it, and I'll be like, who wanted this?
Right.
And it's like a lot of the things that I hear from even talking to people on this show or like just talking to guitar players about guitars and things. The things that seem like people want and they gravitate towards, and the things that are important to them about a guitar are just things that are, for whatever reason, seem like they're not even being thought of by some of these big companies. You know, like I don't want. I would much rather have the weight of the guitar and the wood that I want on the neck than have horrible robot tuners that nobody wants.
Oh, let's not talk about that. That was a nightmare. Yeah, poor guys, boy. They took a bath on that one.
One thing I will say though about those guitars, the very first one that finished, that's blue
the
silver burst thing,
really cool. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was an awesome finish.
I've searched for that guitar, just gutted,
Right.
Just to get
Right.
to put it together.
But
At the end, those were the blowouts. It was just a blowout.
Right.
Yeah.
But it seems like Michael Kelly guitars, like anything new that comes out, it's like you paid attention to what a player wants.
Yeah.
Versus I don't know what the important thing is for some of the other companies, whether it's to do something first or whether it's to I don't know. I don't even know, because like I said, sometimes I'll pick up a guitar and I'm like, I don't know who this is for. But it was very cool when I even when I at NAMM, when I was playing through the guitars that were hung up, it was like every single one of these is a player, you know, and that's important, and I think that that's very cool, and that's something that that I definitely noticed once you started at Michael Kelly, grabbing the guitars and seeing the newer lines that are coming out. It's really like, oh, somebody's listening to people that actually play guitar, not people that are hanging this up on a wall or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense, but
it does. And another component of this is price. It's a price-driven, business, and we make really great guitars at a really affordable price.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's important, this way customers, they could, I don't want to say impulse buy, but they get a really beautiful guitar, $899, $999. Wow, that's a great guitar, and I can tell because of all the emails that come back. I just got this one. I love that one. If you ever look on the website, we have a listing where the customers, the Michael Kelly players, list their favorite Michael Kelly and stuff. And boy, is it real inspiring to see what they write. Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, it's great because it's. I work at a music school and I'm teaching kids, and I'm asked all the time, like, what should I get for a first guitar? What should I get for, I've had this first guitar for a while. What should I get for the first good guitar? And it's really easy to recommend them. It's like guitars. It's like super easy to go to this website and check them out. These are great guitars.
Yeah.
Like, they're really nice and they're really good. And they're made really well and they play really well.
Yeah.
One of the coolest things I learned when I took over, when we acquired this company, about customers. Ready? How many people are named Michael Kelly? Oh my God! My name's Michael Kelly. Can I have a guitar?
Can I have a guitar?
So what I always do? T-shirt.
Right.
My name's Michael Kelly.
You go.
I want a bass. T-shirt.
T-shirt.
I play mandolin. My name's Michael Kelly. T-shirt. There's more. I've never known there's so many Michael Kellys. Oh my God. It's like John Smith. They're coming out of the woodwork. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
So when they first approached you to work with Michael Kelly or to work, did they approach you and be like, take this company over? You know, like, and what were you just like immediately like? Because I know you had worked with D'Angelico for a while, and like, was this something that you were like ready to jump back into?
Well, Michael Kelly is like a subsidiary of like Sam Ash Music.
Yeah.
And for 30 years I worked on 48th Street, and I loved my career at Sam Ash. Everybody identifies me with being at Sam Ash all those years.
Right.
Quick side story: a couple of years ago, unfortunately, I got hit by a car, but I'm okay. But I was injured, and the ambulance came, and they're on the stretcher. The guy looks down at me, he goes, "Yo, you're the guitar guy from Sam Ash." I go, "Yeah." How much could I get a Gibson for? I'm like, oh.
Talk to me after you save me.
Yeah, exactly. But then the opportunity for D'Angelico presented itself, which was the chance to run a guitar company.
Right.
And So I went in that direction, and I did that for 7 years. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the people I was with. We built it up from 3 guitars to the company you see today. And then as luck comes my way, we all know like the Angelico is more of the hollow body jazz. They're known for that. They have many models, but that's their thing,
Yeah.
And they were nice people work with them and all this. But I was at the NAMM show, and 4 years ago, it was 5 maybe by now, I think. And the Ash family approached me and said, listen, we were thinking about acquiring Michael Kelly guitars. We'd like you to come back, and you'll be VP and head honcho, as you say, and we'll work on it together. And I was like, this is a dream come true, coming home to Sam Ash, like a dream come true. So, awesome. I made the transition, and we wish everybody well with the Angelico, and we had a good time there. But being back at where I am now in the environment with the support network and the team that we have, and first year or two was working through the old models and and the old inventory, and then we started putting our stamp on things now, and we have a great team, and we're just every year we're doing better and better and better, from global networking of distributors to all the dealers we have domestic now, to reintroducing reissue models from the 90s that Michael Kelly had, which is exciting as well. And of course, the models that you guys are trying. So basically, I was on 48th Street for 30 years, from 1980 to 2010, the Angelico for 7. And it was fun and rewarding. But even the Ash family, we always said, we know we get you back soon. We know sooner or later you'll be back. And I know. We knew. This is my, my home, and the Sam Ash Company is an amazing company. And I think about all the gifts of music that company gave 95 years now, or 97 years in business. Right. Think of all the instruments, and because music brings such happiness to a home, to people. Course, and when I think of Sam Ash, how they did that, it's spectacular, just spectacular. And in my little way to be part of that, and I'm 65 now, and I'll be retiring when I'm 97, I believe. Yeah, somewhere around there.
Right. Yeah, like I feel. Listen, a job is a job is a job, right? But I want to bring it back to kind of like my first question is like when you were an aspiring guitar player, could you have ever imagined you being the VP and like the head of a guitar company, and kind of and you said you talked about the team approach and stuff like that, and that's so cool. Could you have ever imagined yourself like being in your shoes now, being able to kind of bounce those ideas off of those really awesome and really well-known players to kind of create these things? Like you're creating guitars with features and stylings and things like that from nothing.
Well, here's the secret. I feel like I'm the older uncle for you guys now. I'm loving this here. Okay, open your hands. I'm gonna put gold in your hands. Here, you feel the gold? It's coming in. Okay, I'm giving you gold. Okay, here's what it is. What the secret of this is: set the goal and see yourself doing it. Okay, ready? I'm working at Sam Ash, and there was some export guys, a little older than me, working in South America. Those sales there, because it was pretty. The currency exchange was good, and those guys were $1 million salesmen, and I was selling like $600,000. And I looked at them and I said, "Why should they be $1 million? I should be $1 million salesman. I could do 3 times they can do." So I saw myself doing that, and I started knowing that I pictured myself doing that. I started selling to Germany, Japan, all over the world. I sold $6 million a year. Okay? Wow. Then I'm doing that for a while. Then I saw myself working with the Ash family, designing guitars with Sammy Ash. And I saw myself doing it. And when you picture yourself doing it, your brain finds a way to have you do that. So if you take it by degree, but you have to be real specific. You can't say one day, I'm going to be successful. No.
Right.
But if you say, I'm going to do this, and you make obtainable goals, you picture yourself doing it, and you get there. Same thing with this band of mine. I looked at these bands 3 or 4 years ago, and they're really good. I saw them, I go, I could do that. I could see myself doing that. We won't have a lead singer, just 4 of us, big on the harmonies, good presentation. And I saw it. And when you see it, that plus, of course, discipline, enthusiasm, all those words that make it happen. But it starts with a chief aim. A chief aim, exactly what you want to do, then you get there. So I didn't see myself doing this 30 years ago, but I saw myself in steps to get there, And then every time I said, I can do that. I can do that. Now think about it. Is there 30 guitar companies? Maybe 25? We're in the 25, top 25. Give me a number. 20? I don't know. That means there's only 20 people doing what I do. That's it.
Yeah.
There's more coaches in the NFL. There's more NBA, than what we do, So, and everybody has their twists and turns. But I could tell anybody, if you see yourself doing it, and then you put the discipline and the work ethic and the passion behind it, you could do it. Look at a guy like Roosevelt, FDR. Mm-hmm. He had polio. He was crippled. But since he was a little kid, his mom said, you can do it. You can be president one day. You can do it. You think a little thing like a wheelchair got in his way? Hell no. 4 terms, Yeah. So you can do it, if you see yourself doing it,
That's awesome. Yeah.
That is awesome. That's like
words to live by.
Yeah, guys.
Seriously.
Listen to that. If you didn't really absorb it, rewind it.
Yeah.
Listen to it again. Because that
works in any walk of life that you're in.
Anything.
For sure.
Interruption.
I was gonna do the hold up. Hey. But that was better.
Nice.
There's no time like today to take care of your hygiene.
Indeed.
And one of those things that can help you, if you're a man or a woman even, Manscaped. Manscaped can help you with their lawnmower 4.0.
Yeah.
Their lawnmower 4.0 has skin-safe technology. It's a ceramic blade. It's waterproof. It's got a nice little LED light, so this way you can see underneath all those crevices.
Shave your privates in the shower in the dark. Don't actually do that.
Don't do that.
But you could.
Yeah, you could with Manscaped.
Because you have a light.
Indeed. And for guys, listen, the perfect package 4.0 is like where it's at for you guys. Because it comes with not only the lawnmower, not only the weed whacker for your ear and nose holes.
Well, we got one. So bring it up real quick. What you also get, for one, you get the lawnmower 4.0, which is ceramic blades. It's not going to cut you. It's got a guard so you can, make sure that you got a trim in some spots. You got to the skin in other spots. You make sure that beanbag's shiny. We also have some...
Package that beanbag in...
underwear.
The underwear.
Yeah.
It's got the little ball pouch.
It does have the ball pouch.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great.
Separate. It's technology.
This right here...
I like this.
Is for when you are shaving your balls.
Yeah.
It's little placemats, so this way...
It's like a newspaper.
Yeah. But then you just... You shave them, you crumple it up, you throw it away. No mess, no fuss.
Yeah.
Right?
It's also got some. It's got some funny articles in it.
It does. It does when you read it.
I recommend you definitely read it, but not while you're shaving your nuts.
No. There's the ball deodorant.
Yes, I use it every day. Crop preserver.
And the crop reviver.
I don't use it every day, but I have used it plenty
of times. It is pretty fantastic. You need that midday spritz.
Yep.
Just go for it. Freshens you up right away.
Who doesn't love a little spritz on the beanbag?
Exactly. And where do I keep it all? Well, right here. The shed, baby.
You know what? The shed is a pouch for the things to clean your pouch.
Exactly.
Right?
I use it personally for my toiletries when I travel.
You do? I've seen it.
I've got multiple. I've got a few of them.
Uh-huh.
So, Go ahead, manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD.
You get 20% off this entire order plus free shipping. Not only can you get the Perfect Package 4.0, but you can sign up for their program where they will send you new stuff automatically.
New blades.
Every month, every 2 months, every 3 months. You decide what you need. If you need new blades every 3 months, they'll send you new blades every 3 months. If you want to check out maybe the crop mops.
I can't talk about the crop mops enough.
They're my favorite thing.
Yes.
Get those every month.
When you come and you hang out with us and we see you and stuff like that, we always have crop mops on our person. So
yeah, it's
make
like
sure
a business card,
us.
but for Manscaped and not us.
Yes. So go ahead, manscaped.com, promo code BACONPOD, 20% off, free shipping. Call it a day. Thank you very much.
Yeah. How have you stayed so driven and positive the whole time?
Competitive psychopath.
There you go.
I love the bluntness and honesty in that answer.
Yes.
That is
That'll do it.
Guys, musicians, if you're a good player, are you competitive?
Of course.
You gotta be.
Of course.
Man. Like when you go see your friend's band play, wow, what a great set. Fuck them, we're gonna do that better. You know. So,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's that. You know what? Like, and that's, Jimmy and I are, we write together and we do this other thing, but like, we started out in 2 different bands.
Yep.
And, and we still are in 2 different bands. Yep. And, but like, the way I see it, and I'm sure is like iron sharpens iron, like.
That's true.
He's up there doing that stuff, and you're just like, man, I have to bring it. I have to bring it. Otherwise, So I think it's super important to be competitive in some way, not in a nasty way, not in like
in a healthy way.
Absolutely.
Not in a like,
Absolutely.
oh well, I'm gonna take you down. It's
Right.
like, no, that's not what it is.
No,
you use
reach
other
that
people's you use other people's accomplishments as goals of your own.
Correct.
And try and exceed.
Correct.
For yourself, not to show this fucking guy. Like,
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But that's you're competitive, and I'm like a big history freak. One day I'll take you on a walk. You can see my library. But Benjamin Franklin's good with this. There's something called the art of virtue, and Benjamin Franklin really worked hard to improve, to be perfect, to have a righteous way of living. Mm-hmm. Whether don't drink to excess. Then some of the proverbs, early to bed, early to rise. You've heard them all.
Yeah.
But the real funny little dirty secret is, if you read his about him and biographies and stuff, when he was in France, when we were working on our independency, he used to drink all night, sleep late. But anyway, to follow his words is really, really very enlightening. And then a lot of very successful people, many of the presidents, all of them, because I read about all the the history stuff.
Yeah.
So many of them. One of my idols, one of the book is Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
Self-made man, and his accomplishments, we don't have the time to go through it. But if you read some stories about what other people go through, especially their trials and tribulations, you realize your speed bumps are just a little speed bump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. So you mentioned that you're history buff.
Oh yeah.
And I really do enjoy history and stuff like that. Like in terms of like television shows that are out now, and actually just recently I just saw a movie talking about Oppenheimer, the guy who created the atom bomb.
Yep.
And there's a movie getting put out about that.
Looks
It looks
great.
intense.
Yeah.
It looks really good. What because you read books about it and stuff like that. What do you think in terms of like television today, or even some of the things that happen on Netflix and stuff? Is there like a show that really encapsulates a story the right way? And what is that show?
Well, the media could go slant things anyway. They could be discussing Abraham Lincoln and then bring in a heavy duty racial part of it where they would be talking about something else. And so I like that they have these shows because it keeps people interested. But for me, I absorb the written word best. Everybody has to take, some people like, okay, Peter Frampton, I read his book.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about how he's a sound guy. He would, he would just, sounds is his thing, people take in data different ways. Like I'm a reader. So when I read, I really absorb better. But these shows are wonderful to have because it keeps people interested. And maybe then people would go in a little deeper, like the History Channel. They recently had, I believe, Teddy Roosevelt. They had Grant, cigar smoking General Grant, right?
Yep.
They had Lincoln. They had Washington, which is really cool. So they had those mini series on that. And they even had those series on the evolution of the car, of candy.
Yeah.
You remember really
how it's made thing.
Yeah, really excellent.
Oh man,
I love
how
those.
it's
like
made. Okay, Jen used to make fun of me because I'd watch How It's Made always. Like if I was just kind of like doing things around the house and stuff, I'd throw that on. She'd be like, "What are you watching? Like really?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is great. I love this stuff." I'm trying to get my son into that stuff because he's always asking questions about how things are made and stuff.
Right.
That's cool.
But yeah, I love that stuff.
That's cool. And I love the success stories about it. Like Hershey, 3 times bankrupt, failed.
Yeah.
How about our boy Henry Ford? 3 times bankrupt. So that means
Walt Disney.
Walt
Same
Disney.
thing.
He was a hobo. So you do these things and you see other people's I don't want to even say trials or tribulations. Journeys.
Their journeys. Yeah.
Fantastic to get. So that almost goes back to your question, like how you get to where you are. It's fascinating. And then when you read about them, like I do, and you see the situations that they overcame, it wasn't all just handed to them. No way. Oh, forget it. So Roosevelt, we talked about, he was in a wheelchair. Grant, he was a failure at everything. He finally had to work in his father-in-law's grocery store. The Civil War comes, and he went to West Point, and he didn't do that well except in horseback riding. He was top of his class, okay? Anyway, they called back General Grant, the cigar-chomping Yankee, because they needed someone who maybe is not that good with the books, but knows, hey, let's point it forward instead of retreating all the time,
Right.
And all of a sudden, at 44 years old, now, he's General Grant. Lincoln was in his 40s, late 40s, and he was in his law office with his partner, Herndon. And he goes, Herndon, what, Lincoln? They used to use the last name a lot. Mary thought I would be a big success, but here I am sitting in Illinois in this law office. Nobody really knows about me. I ran for legislation. I lost. Nobody. All of a sudden, up comes 5 distinguished gentlemen from back east. Are you Mr. Lincoln? Yes. Well, we're from back east, and we represent the Republican Party, and we want to nominate you for president.
Right, yeah.
So Steve, we want you to be VP. Steve, we want you to be VP of Michael Kelly Guitars.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's
Adapt, everyone.
Right.
Grow gills.
Adapt.
Eat your bacon.
Eat your bacon.
Steve, who is like your who is, if people are not history buffs or anything like that, who is your historical figure that they gotta go back and read about and gotta go back and learn about to that'll like change their life?
No, bro, you got to do my famous Pisani table. You want to know about it? Now you're on my podcast.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What you got to do is this: pick 3 guys. They could be alive. They could be friends. But my 3 are historical figures, okay? And those 3 guys at this table will answer any question you have in life. I'll explain. Here's my 3. To my left, Benjamin Franklin. Sitting ahead of me, Abraham Lincoln. To the right, Andrew Carnegie. He was the richest man in the world from Pennsylvania Steel. He had Carnegie Steel. Sold it to U.S. Steel to J.P. Morgan for $1 billion back then. Unbelievable. So, if you have a question in your life, like let's say I have this question: 4 guitars got lost in shipping, and it's bothering the hell out of me. Okay. I go into this room. There's Dr. Franklin. Hi, Dr. Franklin. Steve, how are you? How's the guitar business? Good, but I have a problem. 4 guitars are missing. I can't find them. I don't know. He goes, Steve, you're a hard worker, early to bed, early to rise. You're industrious, a big word for Franklin. You're industrious. You're a good worker. This is just a blip on the screen. It happens to all businesses. Oh. President Lincoln, Steve, you're looking great. Of course. How you doing, President? Good, Mr. President, good. What's your problem? I said, 4 guitars is missing. FedEx, again, they lost 4 guitars. He goes, this is your problem? This is your problem? I'm running the Civil War. Tens of thousands of people are dying every day. Blood on my hands. You're worried about 4 freaking guitars? Come on. Thank you, President Lincoln. AC, how you doing? Mr. Pisani, how are you? Mr. Carnegie, it's so good to see you. You're looking well. What can I do for you? AC, I lost 4 guitars. And, I can't find them, and they're on my books, this and that. He goes, how much you doing business last year? Oh, several $1 million. And you lost 4 guitars, and you worried about 4 guitars, and you did $7 million in business. It's cost of doing business, Steve. Thank you, AC. My questions are done. So you pick 4 guys. Maybe I could be one of the 3 guys once in a while or whatever. And your questions will be answered when you have what's called the mastermind, the support network. I do this now. You know what happens? I'm in that sweet spot now, guys, where I automatically do it.
Right.
Like I automatically do it. There's a flat tire. There's, 4 guitars are missing.
Yeah.
Whatever it might be, a toothache, whatever. If you have your support network, they tell you the answers because you're very smart. Guys like you have a wealth of experience. Yeah, you met a lot of people. You get those 3 guys who are mentors in their way, whether they're alive or that, But I have to be honest. I have to be really full disclosure. My little 3 guy starts with me knocking on the door, and my mom opens the door for me because I miss her. And she always goes, Steve. I go, Mom, you look great. She goes, you have a problem? You get your friends are here. They'll take care of you.
Nice.
Mine starts with Mom. Yeah, man.
It all starts with Mom. It always starts with Mom.
It does.
Mine does too.
Yeah,
sure.
It does. Yeah.
It's so funny you talk about like the 4 guitars.
That's
are
awesome,
missing.
by the way. That's great.
You're talking about the 4 guitars are missing. Like a lot of my work history, like almost 20 years worth, was doing inventory. I was doing lots of inventory for a lot of people, and like $12 million in inventory, and oh man, yeah. For me, I was like, when you said 4 guitars are missing, a little like a part of me was just like,
see, yeah. And it's not the 4 guitars; it's just your professionalism wants it all buttoned up tight.
Right.
Out of how many? Wait.
Right.
Fun fact, and I'm not just trying to like pat myself on the back here. We had I worked for a building supply distributor. We had $21 million in inventory. We were off when we did like a full physical inventory. It was like a week of just shut down, count everything, and that's it. We were off by 0.03%.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
I'll pat you on the back for that.
I will too. I'm very impressed. Oh, listen, when you get done later, text me. I could use somebody working for me over here.
There you go. He's texting you now.
We got it. No. But yeah, no, I love that. So, fun guitar stories. I want to know, have you ever had like that guitar that got away? Like something that you had that you either
shouldn't have got rid
lost, got rid of for some reason, whether it was a sale or, just, oh, buddy, here, you can have this or something like that. You ever have the guitar that got away?
One guitar I really liked was a 1960 real Les Paul standard. But there was some things changed, and that was right when they were really getting out of control.
Yeah.
We had it in the window of Ash on 48th Street. It was nice. Sunburst. It was nice. And that neck, oh my God, that neck was a killer. Sorry, guys, I'm getting a little nuts.
That's
anyway.
Right.
No, we get it.
I loved it. And we were selling it for $60,000. Okay. I get a call. Back then, this is right when the internet was starting to really cook a little bit. But back then, many customers who went to Manhattan from all over the world would take pictures of the window.
Right.
And then send it back mail it to their friends, to buy the guitars. And of course I knew, everybody. So I get a call from England and, hi mate. I go, how you doing? You Steve Pisani? I go, yeah. Do you have that Les Paul still? I go, yeah. 60,000? Yeah. I'm flying down to get it. I said, okay. 2 days later, he shows up, the guy. And he tries it. I try it. I point out some of the things that were not original. But it was a great guitar. Jimmy, man, it's a killer. We go upstairs, and we're playing it private now. And he goes, I'll take it. And out a duffel bag was $60,000.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So I'm counting it, and I'm trying to just talk to him before he changes his mind, So I go, what do you do for a living? I'm a Duke. So that's what he does. He's a Duke. That's his job. Yeah. And the Duke walked out with the guitar, and I hope he still has it because now I think it's worth,
Quick reminder that this show is brought to you by our brand new sponsor, Mythical Beards. Check them out, mythicalbeards.com. You can get stickers, you can get hoodies, you can get all that kind of stuff, but most importantly, you can get shit for your face.
Keep your beard fresh, keep it clean, keep it groomed. If it's good enough for Mick Foley, God damn it, it's good enough for us.
I'm wearing the Kraken right now.
I am actually wearing the Dracula.
Nice.
And that's why I smell like an old-time barbershop.
If you go to mythicalbeards.com and use the promo code
BACON15,
you get 15% off your entire order. The show is also brought to you by our good friends at GrillYourAssOff.com, where you can also get 15% off of your order of all spices, grilling rubs.
They're delicious freaking sauces.
Yes, delicious sauces, all that kind of stuff. Every season is grilling season if you like to cook.
Yes.
So definitely check it out. GrillYourAssOff.com. Use the promo code
BACON because it'll keep grilling season all year fucking long.
15% off with the promo code. 10% off at drinkwildbills.com, where you can get all kinds of great sodas, which we've seen lots of mixers for. So keep sending them in. Hashtag drinkwildbills. Hashtag what's your bacon. Send us your beverage options
of choice.
And also poddex.com. You can see them in another part of the show.
Yes, indeed.
But both of those, 10% off, use the promo code BACON. So
yes.
Check it out. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you got. Use them. Find them. If you can't remember what we just said, go to baconismypodcast.com. Everything's there. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Right.
Oh, yeah. More than that.
Absolutely.
For sure. That was one of them, I remember I was speaking to John Sebastian from Love and Spoonful. Mm-hmm. And I once asked him, I go, is there one guitar, same question, that you wish you still had? Figuring, you never know, what he had, maybe a, pre get War Martin or maybe a Rick 65 Rick. He goes, Steve, I don't remember that much back then. That's what he told me.
That's amazing. I mean, is there like in your eyes, is there a benefit to being able to kind of, you've got a custom Patriot and stuff like that. Is there a benefit to having like something just straight up customized versus like that thing that kind of hits your memory, hits your heart from that particular time? Like, what do you think? What do you think is better?
Well,
personally?
we do something called mod shops, probably still online, where we upgrade the guitar. We do it for you, and it's very advantageous from a price point. Mm-hmm. So that's because back again, boutique within reach.
Right.
So that's a cool thing. So we do that. Now you have the people. Some people, I call them the tools guy. The guitar's a tool, and they use it to get the job done. And the passion aspect is a little, not as important. But then you have the guys who name their guitars. I'm going to play my bass Betsy now. Right. I want you to meet, Alexandra, my Rickenbacker bass. They develop that relationship with them. Like when Frampton found the Phoenix 33 years later, that Les Paul, when he found it, the guy who previously owned it took the neck down, put the 3 pickups in it. It was Frampton's guitar. That was his guitar,
Yeah. Right.
So you have the one group who are the tool guys. It's a tool to do what I need to do. You know. Then you get the other guys who, you know, they name them. There's passion. Then you got the guys who just, like you said, works of art. I was so impressed when you said that, Mike. I'll tell you why. The reason why guitars fall into that category, because they're made out of wood.
Yeah.
And natural. Like a plastic keyboard doesn't have the intrinsic value and passion as something made from natural materials, like wood, like guitars. You know, I remember, guitar story for you. I probably sold the most Fender custom shop Strats ever, and the guy came in, and when we worked on those, we would fill out everything, send it over to the custom shop. They would call me, we work it out, and the guy wanted a Strat, all rosewood. Rosewood.
What?
The whole thing?
Yeah. So I says, listen, it's so expensive, so heavy. You know, no.
Was this your first 75-pound guitar experience?
Well, yeah, you know, like I know that you have the tellies, but you know. So then I says, and then we got the price back, and he bailed on it.
Right,
A week later, wait, it gets better. A week later, he comes in, he goes, I decided, because he wanted unique woods. I want the whole thing redwood. Redwood. I go, redwood? He goes, yeah. I called him up. He goes, now the price, that's not a very expensive wood.
Yeah.
Right, but it's unique. I've never seen another Strat redwood.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the custom shop said it's going to weigh like 18 pounds. Really, it's good. The guy, I want it, and I'm going to give you a deposit right now. If not, I'll call the hotline, the complaint line. I go, no. Okay, gives me $500. I tell him 18 months to get it, and every 2 or 3 months he'd come by and give me 500, this and that, and he was pretty understanding. It takes a long time. Finally, it came in. He owed about $1,000 on it. Comes in, I open it up. It was redwood, weighed a ton. You couldn't even lift it, weighed a ton. And don't forget, deposit's not refundable, custom guitar.
Yeah.
I can't play it, it's too heavy. So of course, we gave him the money back. Now I got this guitar. I'm trying to sell it.
Right.
I find one guy, there's a lot of guys who want like a unique, one-of-a-kind thing.
Yeah.
Before I sold it to him, I go, listen, it's very heavy. Honestly, it's like 14 pounds, something like that. Real number. I go, before I ship it to you, I want it. Send it to him, sends it back. 3 or 4 times it's happening. Finally, I get a call from a guy. Goes, you got that redwood guitar I saw on the ad? I go, yeah. He goes, I want to buy it. I go, sir, because I don't want to go through the shipping and
Right.
You know,
Yeah, shipping one way, but then shipping back the other way, and not knowing how they're going about
and
it.
there's credit card compliance and all this stuff. Come on now. I want it. So I says, you really want it? I want it. I sent it to him. Okay. A week later, I see an email from him. I'm like, oh God. Opens up. Thank you very much for my purchase and your fine customer service, whatever. I had to do it. Hello, Mr. So-and-so. Yeah, this is Stevie. Yeah. He goes, I love the guitar. I go, so how is it? He goes, I have it on my wall here. I go, I own a picnic table company. And he makes everything out of redwood. So it's on display in his office.
So it's a prop. Nice.
Oh my God.
That's great.
The perfect guitar for the perfect customer.
Yeah. Right.
That is insane. I would have just been like, this is a studio guitar. It's just like, sit down with it, please.
It didn't sound that good. It's redwood.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be no resonance.
Right. It's just
redwood.
so
Like
dense
a
and
block.
heavy. Yeah.
It's just a block of block.
How's it sound? Just like the pickups.
Exactly.
Yeah.
God. Anyway, so that's a little funny story. Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
great.
I love that. That you must have gotten like so many weird custom requests and stuff like that. I can only imagine.
Yeah, and what we try and do is steer them towards what we think that they want to go for. And with Michael Kelly, we try to circumvent that process by making our own mod shops. We spend a lot of time designing them and working with Seymour Duncan at the NAMM show last month. I have a whole bunch of prototype pickups coming right now. They should be here maybe tomorrow morning.
Oh, cool.
And we build guitars. We design them around the pickups. We're in contact with Larry DiMaggio right now, with some ideas with that. So it's really exciting. And also, we just think that it'll save the customer maybe and sometimes anxiety, because we can have the guitar done.
Right.
You know, and it's tried and tested. It's a great guitar. Everybody's happy, and the price works, you know. So, and usually the people, the holy grail guys, we all know this, with this pickup, it's got to be this, it's got to be that.
Right.
Want to know the funny story? I'll call it my Elvis Presley guy story.
Okay.
So there's a guy came in the store all the time. He asked me for a BB King, Lucille. We know what that looks like.
Yep.
Thin line, but it has to be the 1 3/4 neck width, but they don't make it. So he used to come in all the time and say, I'm looking for a BB King with a thin neck. I go, I got a couple upstairs, you know, but it has to be the 1 3/4 neck width, but they don't make it. I said, well, you know, always eager for the set. I go, well, let me check upstairs. I ran up, there was a few BB Kings. I tried one and the neck felt thin. I brought it down. This guy looked like Elvis, the whole bit, you know.
Right.
He takes out a micrometer and he goes,
Oh my God.
Wow.
no. All right. This goes on a couple of times. Every 6 or 7 months he would come by a store and I would still go up and try and sell him one, you know.
Yeah.
I'm with Sammy Ash. We're in Gibson, Nashville, in the oval table office. And right over there is a BB King. So I go to the manager of Gibson at the time. I go, what's the story with that? We made one with an ultra thin neck. Whoa. I go, I want that guitar. Send it to 48th Street. No, we can't send us a prototype. Sammy Ash, send that to Steve right now. Bam, done. I get it. I put it upstairs. I'm waiting for the guy. I'm waiting. Where the hell's this guy? Finally, he comes in and he's speaking to one of my salesmen. I want a BB King with an ultra slim neck, but they don't make it. And I said to the kid, I said, let me take this. I'll give you the commission, but let me handle this guy. Right. How are you, sir? Good. He's with a woman now this time. I go, ultra slim neck, right? Yeah, but they don't make it. I go, if I can get you one, are you going to buy it? He goes, of course I'm going to, but they don't make it. I go, well, listen, before I go upstairs, we've been through this several times. If I got one, will you buy it? Then, of course, the girl says, we have the Sam Ash card, you know, the gift card, right. And I'm going to call the hotline. I go, no, listen, I'm not insulting anyone, but you really want one, right? But they don't make it. I go, stay right here. I run upstairs to the stock room. I can't find the guitar. I'm looking.
Oh my God.
I'm looking. On the bottom of the pile, I pull it out. I put it on the counter. And I left it in the case on the counter and I backed away. Good sales technique. Clip. Opens the case. He's looking at it. He looks at me, looks at her, and he's looking at it. Not touching it, looking at it. And I'm looking at it. And I'm smiling because you remember we talked about friends?
Right.
I'm going to have a really good friend now, you know? Because I got him his guitar, man.
Right.
He goes to her. Out comes the micrometer. 11/16. You know? He's like, wow. I go, Sam Ash, we make dreams come true. Yeah. He says, I'll be right back. We're getting a cup of coffee. Did he ever come back? There's my question for you.
No.
You know why?
Oh.
I learned a lot. It's the thrill of the chase for him.
It's the thrill, not the kill.
That's right.
Wow.
So how do you like that? Okay. So, and he never even came into the store again.
What?
Never did it.
Wow.
And that is why I got out of sales.
Now, did that one keep you on the edge of your seat or what, guys? You know?
Yeah, right. I'm like, this guy had to come get it, right?
Well, you know what I always tell
Well, have
everybody?
they sold that guitar since?
Oh,
or did you send it back?
I sold it the next day. You kidding?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Come on. But you know what I always say? Like to people I tell a story? I guess he must have went all the way to Brazil for that coffee.
Oh, my God. Well, one thing I will say, I got to hit up Michael Kelly because I want to get a baritone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're working on a few things. We're working on mandolin, baritone. We even have a few prototype banjos. You know, there's always things in the pipe. We have in my office right now some ukuleles, you know, which is a big market. You know, not quite as strong as it used to be, but people play ukes, you know?
Yeah.
So we're always working on good things.
I want one of these in a baritone.
Ah, okay.
A hybrid baritone?
A hybrid baritone.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be fun.
We'll have to do the signature model for you, you know. So,
Yes.
There you go.
yeah, there you go.
Nobody band.
There you go.
There you go. We love that stuff, you know. It's all about marketing, you know. Anything you do nowadays is marketing.
Love it. Love it.
It's all about marketing, you know. You know, anyway.
Now, speaking of marketing.
Yeah. Yeah, let's
Damn. You like that?
Twice.
Two times in a row.
Twice with the ultimate segue to our...
Right.
Steve, I'm usually okay-ish at segues.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I've gone 2 for 2 in the
Two
past
for
2
two.
shows.
How about set lists for the band? Are you good with those segues in that regard?
Depends. It depends. I used to not be very good, but I've gotten quite good.
Good.
Or
I'm good with the bands.
now I have like in between intro kind of things.
That's cool.
So I can just like boop and off they go. So it seems kind of seamless.
I just drive my band nuts by not giving them a set list until the day
Oh
of the show.
my God.
Yeah. He's that guy.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
I gotta read the room. I gotta.
That is fantastic.
Or I'll take songs out 10 minutes before we go on. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm not.
You remember this song that we
this-
played 2 years ago?
This crowd is not gonna like this or this. We need this. We need this. This needs to be in here. Change the order.
I think that's a real cool thing. You know, that's really cool. You know?
It makes a show a show.
My band doesn't, but
Yeah. I love that.
But we do have a really awesome sponsor called Poddex. And what Poddex does is they create cards for people who don't have verbal diarrhea like we do, who could just like talk forever. They create different subjects and topics for each deck. Within each deck is 50 cards. Within each card is a question. What we like to have our guests do is pick a deck, and then we will ask them a question at
get a
random.
random question.
Am I picking a deck by color?
No. I'll read them off to you. I won't make you read them because that would
I
be
can't see
so
it.
unfair.
Yeah,
That'd be so
ridiculous.
unfair. So we have
You could pick by design though, because they have some.
They
Good
have some really
designs.
fun designs, like this one, the old school MTV,
That's cool.
or the little
Oh, we have the
popcorn.
movie popcorn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is the episode deck, the interview deck 2. Would you rather? What the heck? What the fuck? And how dare you?
Yes.
Interview
1 or 2.
2.
Interview 2.
Sweet.
All right.
All right.
So Mike is going to shuffle those cards while I tell everybody within the sound of my voice that you can go to poddex.com and you can check out these decks as well as many more. If you don't like handling cards, they also have an app. They also have some nice t-shirts and swag. Not quite as nice as these Bacon is My Podcast t-shirts, which you can find at baconismypodcast.com, but they are soft style and they're nice and they don't chafe the chest.
Yes.
They don't chafe the chesticles. So check it out there. Use the promo code BACON.
Because everything is better with
And
bacon.
get 10% off your entire order.
Alrighty, Steve. I am going to fan these bad boys out.
I'm going to take the finger of power. We're going to go from my right to my, or my left to my right, your right to your left. You tell me when to stop, and that'll be your question.
Okay. Stop.
Stop. All right. Let's see what we got. Steve, what is the funniest place that you've ever fallen asleep?
Uh-oh. I got one, but I'm afraid to say it. No, it's not that one. No. Okay. Now that we're all musicians very aware of ear protection,
Yes.
Mhm.
right? You know, when I first started, you know, that wasn't even on the table.
That wasn't a thing.
The louder the
No.
better. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're all very careful about that.
Right.
So I have the 2 answers for you on this one. First one is, I'm going to see a very popular band on Long Island at Jones Beach. Okay, they're friends of ours. They're a really good band. We're all good friends. You know, we've been to many shows, Christine and I, at Jones Beach. You know, when our band's friends play, they come see, and we're watching the band play. And you know, with the earplugs in, you know, and I'm watching them, and I was out.
None of those high frequencies get there.
Right? Yeah.
It's
It's lulling to a sense of security.
Right, out, just out like a light.
There's a reason why they have those vibrating beds. It's because those
Right,
kick
right.
things. It kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. And the other one is, as you guys know, pre-COVID, but do a lot of traveling to Korea, Indonesia,
Yes.
China, all over, 14, 15-hour flights. So I've trained myself to, those flights typically start in the 12 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, late hours. So I would get on and you have a little snack and then fall asleep and then wake up and you're, maybe 3 hours to go, because 14-hour flight. So my last trip right before COVID hit, this was I say March is when it stopped. February, like 2nd or 3rd, I had to go to Indonesia. And I did my routine. I'm on the plane, Air Korea, sit down, we have a snack, put in the plugs, I fall asleep, I wake up, I go, wow, I'm feeling pretty good. I look, I've only slept an hour. 13 hours to go.
Oh no.
So there's my 2 bad sleep stories there.
Yeah, I actually just recently took a train from Orlando to New York. Wow. With my kids and my wife. We went to Disney, and it was either $1,500 for a flight back,
Right.
or $380 for a train back.
Right.
So we were like, duh.
Do you sleep on the train?
You can try to sleep if you can sleep in a recliner. You could definitely sleep on the train, but I'm not necessarily like the recliner sleeper. Right. I move a little bit, so that got a little bit difficult. But I do highly recommend the training places. I like it.
Trains are fun. The movement is good. I did some bullet trains in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
Really cool, man.
I got to do the one in China.
Did you?
That was awesome. That was crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like those. It's just, you see the world. you see the countryside.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of people do the going cross country. Some go, the Alaska thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the one that we want to do is up and down the California coast. They actually do have a train that goes from, I think it's from Southern California to Napa, I think, round about there.
There's some train line in America that does trips that are for, like, they have special prices for like writers and artists and stuff, because
That's cool.
It's like a specific thing where you can take the ride and you're like vagabonding. You're just kind of like popping in and out.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's something I definitely wanted to try doing, because I just like to travel as it is.
Yeah.
And I travel pretty light.
Yeah.
And I can kind of
Backpack.
Yeah.
My one
backpack.
recommendation, though, if you ever do the train thing, bring your own food.
Oh yeah.
Gotta bring your own food, because literally everything on that train is that 7-Eleven wrapper, hot dog,
Right.
hamburger, whatever it may be. And they just, like, it's not a real microwave. It's the one that just has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you're like, what do they do? What? How do you know how much time each one is? And they literally, like, they just toss it in. They close the door and they hit the button. And you're just like, this is either going to burn my face off or it's going to be dead cold in the middle.
Right.
Oh yeah. Those European kids, they do those Euro passes. We played a couple of years.
Yeah.
We did 2 tours of Europe, and we were amazed how they came from city to city. And I go, how are you guys doing this? Oh, we just jump on the train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's just
Cool
awesome.
lifestyle, right? Yeah.
That's awesome to me. Yeah. Like I did so much, I lived in my van for a number of years, because I wanted the tour, so it was get in the van, take the band, go on a tour. And I just liked traveling and like going anywhere I could.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about. I was telling Christine, I've come to the point where it's all about experiences.
Yeah.
We all have a lot of things. You have all those beautiful guitars. You have a beautiful studio. You have a great band, nice relationships. I met your girl and this and that. And now it's about memories and doing things, experiencing things,
Yeah.
And there's so much to do wherever you are. If you live on Long Island, there's a fair in a town every day. There's there's a beautiful, every town has a beautiful park. There's so many things to do and experience them. And, it's up to you what you want to make out of it, and how much you want to, enjoy these things, So that's what I'm thinking.
Very true. Experience might be my bacon.
There you go. Right.
Absolutely.
Very good. Very
A
good.
story. a story.
The story is always my bacon. Yeah, it's always about the story.
So, Steve, we've taken up a lot of your time.
Yeah, I have international coming up in a few minutes. So
yeah, it's all good, man.
I do have one more question though.
all right.
And you mentioned about traveling. You did a fly out show and stuff like that. Where are you at with analog versus digital?
Wow, man.
Amp wise.
Way to ask him a short question at the end.
Oh yeah. Whoa. Okay. Well, we can talk about waveforms, sawtooth, this and that, and that. But personally speaking, for me, I like the hybrid situation. We're talking about guitars, right? We're not talking about like a lifestyle, right? Like a analog life.
No.
Yeah, we're not talking about Rush's album there, right? No.
We're talking about amps.
Okay. So the way I look at this is what I do is I go, I know, Jimmy, you go direct to right from your unit.
Yes.
What I do is I go direct and then I go into the effects return, just into the power amp section of a tube amp. Right now I'm using the two Fender Hot Rods. And that way I'm getting the soft wave of the tube with the clarity of the digital side.
Right.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, I've been going more like 60% digital. And the reason why is some of this stuff, like the chorusing, the I don't want to say brittle, but the really up there stuff sounds good direct, especially the 12-string stuff too.
Right.
But but we got to support that with the tube stuff. And then you guys ever see Premier Guitar Rig Rundown?
Yes.
Love it. So I watch that all the time. And when you look at it, they have a lot of that stuff. And then you always see tucked down the bottom, a Marshall 5050 or a plexi that they put an effects loop in it so they can go through the end, because you don't want to go into the front, because then you have 3 more stages of gain that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You got the channel gain, the master volume. So these amplifiers, all the front knobs are 0. And you're going right into the power amp side. So I recommend for guys to try going through the return of the effects loop and going direct to the house too, and my friends at Proco made me a little cable, sort of like a direct box, but in a cable form, where one end goes into the pedal board, the other end is an XLR with a capacitors to give the front of the house headroom, But our flashback crew, we lost 2 of them, and they're like $40 a piece. So I love our crew. If they're watching, Bob and Mike, everybody, I love you. But twice, $40 a piece. So now, on these pedal boards, there's like a little lip to put your cable, your power cable.
Yeah.
I tie wrap the adapter to that, so we can't lose it anymore.
Nice.
Beautiful.
I'm not going to go through that. So I recommend going that way. I was 50-50, but now I'm a drop more in the digital world, I think some of the effects. Now, some of the other guys, like the Gear Rundown guys, they put some stuff in front of the amp, as you know, some stuff, the modulation effects through the loop, the compression stuff in the front. But look, at what we do, and the crisis management setting up, and the whole, you want smooth, easy as can be. But I will tell you this, we've been playing a lot, traveling. I'm really proud of that. All these sound guys tell me, I love the sound of your guitar. I love the sound of your guitar. And to me, it's simple. And like what we use, Jimmy, is once you have your way of communicating with whatever pedal board you have, where where the bodies are buried in the thing, then you could really fine tune it. But I know for ease, like when we played last Saturday in Texas, there was some talk, just put it through the board. I go, get me any tube amp with an effects loop, and then the guy afterwards, he said, "Man, I love your guitar sound, because I get the best of both worlds."
Right. Yeah.
So
it's interesting. I like that.
Yeah. I'm doing it a long time. I love it, and to me, it's, all about the sound. Of course, one other thing too, if Eddie Van Halen came over and played that guitar that's in your studio, he'd sound like Eddie Van Halen. If Jimmy came to the Radio Flashback show and did, I love your songs. You did that, that high octane. It would sound like you. So a lot of it is right
It's
here.
in your hands. Yep.
And approach, you know, and the guitar, it's great. It's so hard when you start. Then it gets so easy, right? Then it gets really hard now, you know?
right.
Really, really hard, you know?
Yes.
And the last thing we'll talk about guitar, see, you get my passion here. I only got a few minutes to go. But is this, I recommend to people, one thing that I spend a lot of time on, because so many guys are so good. And the guys who could really play those scales, the guys who could sweep, the guys who could do, you know, the fan fret guy, all these things.
Right.
But one thing I think everybody should do that I really do is I work on my vibrato. I'm a vibrato guy. And two types. Of course, you have changing pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the violin situation. And I start that metronome, maybe 68, and I do my scales. And you know what I do? I keep BPM slower and slower. And it's really your voice. Your vibrato is your voice on guitar. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You know, and so I like to talk about vibrato. It's really big. I want to be better with my pitch. You know, some of those guys like Neil Sean, you know, he pitches a half a step. You know, some guys like Vi pitches, you know, 2 steps up, you know, like in the middle of his pattern. Fantastic. Eddie too. But
it's crazy, yeah.
So I try and do that. I try and, you know, especially do covers. But the expression, vocal vibrato, talking to you, you know, that's where it's at, baby.
I gotta tell you, we could get into a whole other thing because, like, playing slower,
Yes.
people think, oh, yeah, you could play fast. Oh, yeah, try to play slow and make it mean something.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
I make all my
That's where
students do
it's
that.
BB King. It's all about the story, you know?
Yep. Last time to everybody out here. What's your bacon?
Take it, guys.
See? Long but strong. He had
Long
to go.
but strong.
Like, he talked to us up until the moment he had to get on a conference call.
Right.
So if that ends abruptly, you know why.
Yes. So thank you, Steve, for being on the show with us. Check out Michael Kelly guitars because they're really nice. They're really, really fine instruments.
They play well.
They play very well.
They look great.
Yeah. I mean, I still love my
very
bass.
Useful.
My bass is like pretty. That bass is pretty.
I'm not typically a fan of the colors, but
no,
dude, that is awesome.
It was funny because I was gonna go with a red one.
Yeah,
the red one. It's this, but in red, and that was my immediate one. And then I saw the yellow out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, you know, that's really unique.
It just stands
really
out.
Cool.
Yeah, it's eye catching.
And it plays just as well as the red one. So
if you're on StrangerhoodTV,
go check it out.
.com, which is our YouTube channel or the YouTube network that we are on.
Yes,
you can see both guitars. We show them both in this episode. You can check those out and you can see what we're talking about. Also, if you're over there, it's a cool network, man. We set it up.
There's a plethora of content.
Yeah, it's our local scene. It's our buddies, our bandmates, our friends from other bands. We tried to create something that would kind of encapsulate some of the characters.
Yeah,
from the local scene. So we got a DJ with the top 20. We got my drummer Chris with my top 5 and Jam with a Stranger. We've got Something Heavy's new music out there. On there right now, we got new Craven Strange music coming soon. We got Will It Sound Good Acoustic, Will It Sound Good Heavy. We got vocal covers. We got guitar playthroughs with Frank. We got all kinds of stuff.
Lots of things and stuff and whatnot. So
hit it up, check it out. Give us a like and a follow because that just helps us get heard by more people, honestly.
Yes.
And it's the easiest thing you can possibly do to really help us. If you want to go that extra mile and help us even more, jump on patreon.com/baconismypodcast and help us out there. Join one of our, what do they call them? The tiers?
Yeah, tiers.
Yeah. Join one of the tiers and
not these tiers.
Get some extra
levels.
Yeah, but we could do tiers of joy every time someone new joins.
Mm-hmm.
You get extra content. You get early shows. We're about to jump on live right as soon as we sign off of here. We're jumping on live with our peeps over at Patreon to do a discussions and drinks. We have a cooking show over there. We eat horrible things. We've got early music from all of us. We're showcasing stuff from our upcoming EP, the Bacon Is My Passion EP. And if you're interested in checking out how that's going,
Twitch.tv/baconismapod.
Every Thursday, starting at 9.
Yep.
You can check out a live stream where we're taking you through that whole process.
Yes.
Man, that's a lot of stuff.
And we are going to be playing these fine instruments on those Twitch
So you'll get
streams,
to hear them.
so you'll be able to hear them first thing. So, Jimmy, besides Bacon is My Podcast and Bacon is My Passion, which is our music that you can catch on all streaming platforms, baconismypodcast.com for these sweet shirts and more.
Yeah.
Where can they find you?
You can find me on the socials at Jimmy G Shoes, and you can find my band Craving Strange at cravingstrange.net, and that'll give you all of the links and places that you can find us, especially over strangerheadtv.com.
Yes.
How about
and
you, bud?
Me personally, at me, my own self, Mike, you can find out what's going on with my family, those fun little things that we do about my band and about my podcast. Oh, wait, this is my podcast.
Yeah.
So you can find about all that stuff at me, my own self, Mike, on all the socials. My band, Something Heavy, brand new music is coming out in June. That's not too far away.
Yeah.
It's going to happen around the show that we do at Beery's.
I like
it's
it.
It's going to be hopefully pretty good.
It's going to be fun.
And yeah, without that, that's it. So without further ado.
Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time. And until then,
always remember, ask yourself one super duper 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 question.
What's your bacon?
Yes.
Or peace.